There was a time on a windswept mountain afternoon when I saw a bamboo branch bowing deeply. Yet when the wind had passed, it rose again, unbroken, silent yet standing firm, without resistance, without a word, simply unmoved by the currents. The world is quick to honor those who forge ahead, celebrating shouts, force, and every act of breaking through. But in the innermost sanctuary of the human heart, has there never been a moment when you were stilled before one who knows how to stop? Not out of fear, but out of understanding. Not out of weakness, but from knowing sufficiency. Not because of defeat, but from having no desire to conquer. There are those who ask, what is strength if not to overcome others? The ancient texts answer only with silence, leaving the seeker alone with a stream of water, the softest thing under heaven, yet able to wear away stone. One who knows how to yield loses nothing. They merely step back once to preserve 1,000 steps within. Lao Tzu once taught, a stiff tree is easily broken. The strong and the loud soon fall. Water does not compete, does not contend, yet it journeys farther than all. In an age that commands us to advance, to assert, to outdo, the one who knows how to pause is often seen as out of sync. But perhaps the one who moves slowly is the very one who carries the breath and rhythm of heaven and earth. Sometimes the greatest strength is found not in the shout, but in the gentle wind through the bamboo, still standing even when bent, never breaking. For deep within, a silent current of life flows on, unseen. If, amid all the strain and noise, there is something within you that longs simply to be still, that wishes just once to soften completely, then ask, where does this strength arise? How does one who never pushes forward also never fall behind? If water may penetrate stone, is there, within softness, an ancient strength the world has forgotten? Let us step deeper, not to add understanding, but to return and see what has always dwelled at the foundation of all things. Dear friends, water, so soft, so yielding, without form, without color, yet wherever there is life, there are traces of water. Those who walk the way contemplate water to understand themselves, not because water conquers, but because it has no need to conquer, and yet it reaches the end of all things. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu wrote, the softest in the world overcomes the hardest in the world. It is not by force of will, but because the Tao abides where there is no opposition. The one of highest virtue does not rise like fire, but descends like water. Water seeks the lowly place, the place no one desires. That is why water can embrace all things. Softness is not weakness. To yield is not to fail. But it takes a depth of inner strength, silent and profound, not to be drawn into the struggle of right and wrong, gain and loss. On its ancient course, water never leaves its source. It wins its way through stone, not out of defiance, but because stone cannot stop it. So too, the one who dwells in the way knows when to stand firm and when to step back, preserving the breath of heaven within. People are taught to always advance, to harden themselves in order to survive. Yet the more one tenses, the easier one breaks. The more stubborn, the sooner one grows weary. Only when we learn to let go does the heart become light. And when the heart is light, we can see the way flowing through every drop of water. Those who embody the way do not need to defeat anyone. They only need not to lose themselves amidst the crowded currents of life. The ancients said, the highest good is like water. The greatest virtue is to be as water, nourishing, descending, blending without ever seeking recognition. Whatever still seeks to assert itself is not yet mature. Whatever still fears being misunderstood has not yet found stillness. But water, when it settles to the bottom, the mud clears on its own, and it becomes pure not by striving, but simply because nothing remains to stir it anymore. If what came before was the tranquil surface of a deep lake, then what follows are the layers of sediment beneath. These are no longer the words of the ancients to ponder, but the silent imprints of lives, lived, relinquished, endured in stillness. For wisdom does not dwell in scripture, but in the way a person faces the wind, without breaking. No admonition, no force, only the subtlest of shifts, enough to course of a lifetime. So, let us descend to the bedrock below to see. Tao is not something to be spoken, but something to be truly lived when no one is watching. 1. Softness is not weakness, but the silent power of heaven and earth. In the Tao Te Ching, Lao Tzu begins, "The softest in the world can penetrate the hardest in the world. What is softest under heaven can break through what is hardest. Those who only measure strength by sinew and bone will never grasp how water, without hands, without claws, without form, can hollow stone, shape mountains, and dissolve every fixed shape of the self." The ancients did not strive to become tigers. They aspired to become water. Water does not contend, does not confront. It simply flows through every fissure of the world, through every crevice in the human heart. Even when buried, it finds a way. Even when blocked, it quietly slips through. Once, a disciple asked Zen master Baizhang, "What is true strength?" The master simply pointed to a pond behind his hut, saying nothing. The student was silent, for within that stillness was 1,000 years, with water unchanged at heart. It is softness that endures, yielding that grants resilience. Those who shout loudest lose their voice soonest. Those who force things break quickly. Only those who can abide in stillness endure. 2. To step back is not to retreat, but not to lose the way. The ancients did not fear failure, only the loss of vital spirit. They did not fear being pushed back, only the self toppling from within. Lao Tzu once told of an ox cart ascending a steep hill. Someone urged, "Why not whip the ox to go faster?" He merely smiled and replied, "The higher the climb, the more haste brings disaster. If you wish to reach the summit, know when to pause, when to let the cart coast of its own accord." In life, there are moments when stepping back is precisely what preserves one's vital breath, keeping clarity from being clouded by anger and peace from being stirred by contention. Like the ancients pouring tea, never filling the cup to the brim. For they knew, to leave a space empty is to give the Tao a place to enter. The seeker of the way is the same. Do not fill your life to overflowing with fame and desire. Leave an open space so Tao may flow in. Modern people are taught, always push forward, always strive. But those who study the old ways know, advance in the wrong direction and you hurl yourself into the abyss. Only the truly wise dare to pause. Only the truly deep know how to step back. 3. Neither contend, nor cling, nor break. Once, while teaching in Guizhong, Lao Tzu was asked, "If we do not struggle, how can we survive?" He gazed at a willow by the stream and answered, "Look well. It does not fight the wind, but because it does not resist, it does not break. The wind passes and it remains, while those that are rigid were broken in the very first storm." If the seeker of the way is shaken by a single insult, the heart is still shallow. If an arrogant glance stirs anger, the mind is still attached. Softness is not weakness, but the choice not to harbor enmity, not allowing outer collisions to touch the inner core. The ancients said, "When a tree seeks to stand above all, it is the first to be felled by the wind. Thus, those who live low to the ground live long. Those who become the hidden spring keep the source." True strength is not in defeating others, but in keeping the heart unbroken amidst all upheaval. 4. The Tao flows only where there is stillness. Once, a wandering monk asked Zhengshen, "I have sat in meditation for 3 years, yet have found no awakening. Why?" Zhengshen did not answer, but placed a cup of muddy water before him. 3 days later, the water had settled crystal clear. Zhengshen said, "The way is just so. You need not stir, only let it be still. When there is nothing left to agitate, it becomes clear." The more one thirsts for Tao, the more one stirs the water. The more one searches for words, the more one loses meaning. Only by sitting down in silence, listening to the wordless pulse of life, does the way reveal itself. As with the moon, which can only appear on a still surface, the stronger the wind, the more the moon is shattered. The ancients left behind no commotion, only lines of tranquil script, which 1,000 years hence still cause the heart to pause and sigh. The greatest strength is that which never needs to raise its voice. 5. Only the truly empty can embrace all. One winter night, a disciple asked Lao Tzu, "I have learned to step back, to be soft, to be silent. But still I have not seen the way. Why?" Lao Tzu extended his hand and pointed to the sky. The heavens were full of moon and stars, but no one saw his hand. He closed his fist, the moon vanished, stars disappeared. He opened it, the moon reappeared, the wind blew once more. To see the way, do not grasp. To hold the way, remain empty. Only a hand that grasps nothing can hold all things. Softness is not merely a manner, it is the very temperament of one who withdraws from self. To know how to yield is not to be base. To be silent is not to be lost. Only those who can dissolve into the Tao are not swept away by praise or blame. Only those who can bear emptiness have no need to fill themselves with approval. Emptiness is the highest form of fullness. Softness is the primordial nature of true strength. 6. The higher the way, the more invisible, like water, like the moon. The one who walks highest in the way is the one who knows to withdraw from the light. They do not step forward to seek praise. They do not push forward to be heard. They do not claim the center to take possession. They are like a hidden spring beneath stone, unseen, unnamed, yet an entire landscape thrives in silence because of it. The more faded, the more enduring. The further they withdraw, the more space they leave for the way to flow. For true light has no need to blaze. It moves quietly to where all is parched, seeping in like water sinking deep into the roots of a tree. The ancients withdrew from every applause, not out of fear, but because they knew. The greatest strength only reveals itself when there is no need to appear. 7. Stillness is a kind of wisdom, to see without clinging, to hear without being moved. When the wind rises, water turns murky. When words multiply, the mind grows restless. The one who can keep their mind still amidst the world's cries possesses the most silent kind of strength. Not because they cannot hear, but because they hear without being pulled. Not because they cannot see, but because they see without judging. In the Zhuangzi, Master Zhuang tells of a palace gatekeeper who spent every day hearing endless arguments of right and wrong. One day he left his post and vanished into the mountains. When asked why, he replied, "My ears have heard so much that my heart began to believe things that were never mine." The one who knows how to step back does not leave the world behind, but stands apart from the waves that would sweep all away. When the wind blows, it is natural for the branches to sway. But if the roots are shaken, then the roots have not yet gone deep. The silent one does not withdraw to escape noise, but knows. Only in stillness can one discern the true sound from all the clamor. 8. Non-action is the highest action. In the Tao Te Ching, there is a line that startles even seasoned seekers. Non-action, yet nothing is left undone. Non-action is not inaction. It is when there is no one left to act. When we cease to force our hand, the way completes what needs to be done. To the worldly mind, this seems a contradiction. But those who walk the way know there are things that only become more entangled the more we act. There are matters that only grow murkier the more we interfere. Only when we pause does what is right shine forth on its own. The old texts record a minister summoned to court for a grave case. He traveled 3 days, but by the time he arrived, the case had resolved itself. The emperor asked, "Why did you not come sooner?" He bowed and answered, "I feared that if my words intervened, they would only delay what is right from arriving." Lao Tzu built no monuments, opened no schools. He passed through the world like a breeze, leaving behind just 5,000 words. And yet, to this day, none can deny the silent presence of the way, still nourishing every living thing. Not because he advanced, but because he no longer needed to move forward. It is when we step aside from the world's operations that nature takes its own course. It is by not acting that a resonance is left, far outlasting any words. It is by stepping away from interference that the way moves unimpeded. Withdrawing from action is not passivity. It is what allows what is right to take root and grow. The one who knows when to withdraw lets what is great be accomplished without needing to leave their name behind. 9. The deepest knowing is the knowing that is silent. In the deep well, you hear no sound of water flowing, but the water still flows. In the one who truly understands, no explanations appear, yet their heart is bright. The ancients called this the knowing of the mysterious, knowing what cannot be spoken. Those who have only begun on the path compete for explanations. Those who reach the end fall silent. There is nothing left to add. For every word, unless it springs from the way, is but dust. Lao Tzu wrote, "He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know." It is not that those who know are unable to speak, but they know. Words cannot bear the fullness of the way. Only those who have reached the furthest end realize there is nothing more to say. People today speak endlessly, but how many are still enough to hear without rushing to answer? How many can leave something unspoken without needing to define it? One who withdraws from the argument does not lack reason, but chooses not to lose the peace within. That silence is not emptiness, but a deep, complete fullness. Like the sky, soundless yet containing all things. Like the surface of a lake, the stiller it is, the more clearly it reflects the moon and stars. And when all becomes quiet, the final answer no longer needs to appear. For the very state in which nothing more needs to be asked is itself enlightenment. 10. The one who does not cling keeps most. In every struggle, the more tightly one tries to hold on, the sooner one loses. Like grasping water in your hand, the tighter you squeeze, the less you retain. Lao Tzu taught, "What wishes to endure forever will age. What seeks to be ever strong will break." The old records tell of a small kingdom, once among the richest. But its king boasted of armies, flaunted treasures, held endless feasts. 3 years later, the kingdom fell to surprise attack, and was forgotten, save for the neighing of horses among ruined walls. Yet in the woods nearby, an old farmer, frail and poor, planted vegetables, mended earth, hid his stores in the mountain. 7 generations later, his descendants never lacked for food. The one who knows how to step back does not do so out of fear of loss. They withdraw so that what is truly worth keeping is not left exposed to rot. True strength does not need display. The genuine way does not strive to keep itself. Each of the points above is not to be grasped with the mind, but to awaken the heart. If every line is a knock upon the outer shell, then now we are approaching the silent core within. For to know does not mean to let go. To see yet still not release. To understand yet still hold tight inside. So before wishing to live by the way, be still for a while and try to feel the weariness within your own being. The weariness unseen, unspoken, the burden that no one else can bear for you. There is a kind of weariness, one that does not dwell in the body. It does not come from work, nor from pressure, nor is it caused by anyone. It is only like a silent fissure across the chest in the midnight hour within one's own being. No one sees it, no one asks. And at last, even we ourselves stop trying to give it a name. It is just that when we finally sit down, not for meditation, not for practice, but simply because there is no strength left to stand, then suddenly something begins to breathe. Not the space out there, but a region within us that once was alive and has for so long been left unvisited. The world says, be strong, move forward, win, be as hard as steel. But only those who have fallen know steel too will rust. What is high too can break, and nothing is softer than a heart that has once been broken yet chooses to open again, one more time. There are some who outwardly say nothing, yet within must brace themselves every day just to keep from collapsing. No one knows how many nights they have walked through, nights with no one to cry with and nothing left to cry for. It is not that they do not feel, it is that the pain has reached so deep, it has no more shape, no more sound. Lao Tzu never told us to be weak. He merely invited us to release for a moment the effort of holding on and see if there is anything left. And if there is nothing left, then that is precisely what we are meant to see. For the way never enters where all is already full. The way only descends where there is emptiness, a quiet, hollow space, enough retreat where there is no need to win anymore. And in that very moment, we discover we are still breathing without effort. And perhaps that is the most precious thing a person can live with. The deepest touch is not the place others reach, but where we find the courage to go no further. Just to sit, to listen to a single leaf fall, and to know I am still here. When every feeling has faded like mist, when there is nothing left that can be called a climax, there remains only the thinnest veil of stillness spreading out across the inner space. That is the moment when no further step is needed to understand, but only a single breath to remain. No words, no emphasis, no ending, only a field of deep silence where, if anyone dares to enter, they will see they have never left the way, they have simply forgotten how it breathes. Perhaps true strength has never been as loud as we imagined. No step needs to resound, no voice needs to be raised. Just a single gentle step back can preserve the whole heart of the way amidst the whirl of the world. People often see the one who stands still and think they have given up, but the truly steady need not go anywhere to prove that they remain. All that is needed is one quiet space to breathe, an inner realm untouched by the pull of the crowd. Like the last leaf of autumn, falling yet never lost, dissolving yet never gone. For in every letting go, there is already a return. Lao Tzu left no method behind, only a current, soft, empty, yet unyielding, silent, subtle, yet never extinguished. Only when we are distant from words and close to ourselves does this breath begin to flow through every thread of our perception. No one can teach another how to retreat. No one can bestow softness upon another. It is only when a person has grown too weary of striving, too cold from hardness, that they learn to bow their head, let go gently, and realize, in the moment when nothing remains to cling to, that is when they see they have never left the way. Therefore, if life ever leads you to a place where there is no way forward, do not hurry to be anxious. For it is in the place with no path that the breath of the way begins. Take one step back, not to lose, but to see. That behind all the burdens you have carried so long, there's a stream of water that has been waiting for you all this time. When a story comes to a close, it is not an ending, but a quiet doorway opening, leading us into a deeper layer of existence. Thank you for silently walking alongside ancient wisdom awakened. For sometimes, just a single moment of true stillness is enough to stir and transform an entire life. Ancient Wisdom Awakened, a place where each word is not merely heard, but felt with the heart, contemplated with wisdom, and received in the stillness of awakening.